Hello, everyone. So nice to see you all. I'm gonna just wait a few minutes as people keep joining before starting, but it's great to have people joining us today to learn more about the Master of Advanced Management program at Yale School of Management. We'll just give folks a minute or two to join. Looks like our numbers are still going up and people are still joining, so we're just going to wait another minute or so for those people who are still joining us, and then we're going to get started talking about the Master of Advanced Management program here at Yale SOM. All right, great. I think we're going to go ahead and get started. Thank you so much to those of you who are joining us today. We're really excited to be here presenting information about the MAM, or the Master of Advanced Management program here at Yale School of Management. So the MAM degree is a 9-month or 1-year degree program that's designed for students who have recently completed or are working towards an MBA degree. My name is Evelyn Wilson, and I'm here joined today by my colleague, Matt Lasance. Do you want to say hi, Matt, and introduce yourself?
Hi, everyone. My name's Matthew Lasance. I'm the Assistant Director of Admissions here with the Master of Advanced Management program. Excited to see everyone on today.
Thanks, Matt. So we're going to spend a little bit of time today talking about the curriculum, the program here, of course, and a bit more about the School of Management itself. And then we're going to talk through our application process, and then we're going to leave plenty of time at the end for questions. So if you do have questions today, then please save them for the end, and you can enter them through the Q&A feature in the webinar, and we'll be happy to address them live. I also want to say a thank you to my colleague Elena, who's working the magic behind the scenes here, and she's going to be posting our brochure into the chat a bit later in the webinar as well. So keep an eye out for that. You can download it and take a look at it after this webinar for a bit more information as well. All right, let's take a look at our Class of 2024 Master of Advanced Management class. We currently have 49 MBA graduates who are working towards their MAM degree, representing 19 different countries of citizenship. 96% of these students are international passport holders, so it really goes to show that we really have a very diverse and international population here as part of the MAM cohort. 27 different MBA schools are represented, and 14 different GNAM, or Global Network for Advanced Management schools, are represented among those as well. The average age of our students is about 31 years old, and we have about 35% women this year in this year's class. This is definitely a statistic that we're looking to improve upon. So hopefully there are some women who are watching today who are going to get inspired and apply and join our program next year. 94% of our students speak 2 or more languages, and the average amount of work experience is about 7 years. Of course, there's a little bit of room on either side. Everybody has their own unique case, but this just gives you an overall snapshot of what our current class looks like this year. As you could see on the previous slide, we really attract truly global talent here at SOM and for the MAM program. We have had students come from over 70 different countries and across 6 continents to join the MAM program. So what this means is that students are really bringing with them a real sense of the global business world out there. So where students have studied before or where they've lived before, they have a real sense of the local business market there, and they're able to bring that together at Yale SOM and create a really unique learning environment where you can learn about business environments all across the world. I also want to talk to you about all the different programs that we have here at Yale SOM. So you will, of course, be getting to know the students in the MAM cohort very well, but we also have a lot of other degree programs that are present at Yale SOM. We have our full-time MBA program, which enrolls about 350 students each year. And we also have an MBA for executives, which has about 70 or 75 students per year. Of course, today we're talking about the MAM program. We have a Master of Management Studies program, which has a few different degree programs within it. global business and society, asset management, and systemic risk. These tend to be more early career programs, pre-experience. So the students tend to be a little bit younger and at a different stage of their career. And of course, we also have PhD programs. So I think it's worth highlighting this so that you really have an understanding of all of the different students that you'll be interacting with each day at Yale SOM. You'll be taking classes with students from across all of these programs. You'll be in clubs and so seeing them at social events. So it's really something that we pride ourselves on at SOM is the amount of integration that we have among our students and the different programs here. So it's really important for you to understand kind of a cross section of the school and what other programs you'll be interacting with as well. At Yale SOM, our mission is to educate leaders for business and society. This is definitely something that we take to heart and we try and have be present in every aspect and every element of the school. So at Yale SOM, our aim is to develop leaders who are able to think critically about the big issues that are facing business leaders today and to consider multiple solutions and find multiple perspectives in finding solutions. So we really focus on bringing students who have a deep sense of purpose in their work, which again makes SOM kind of a unique environment in order in order to kind of connect with other students who also have this sense of purpose and makes it an environment where you are able to connect with people who are doing amazing work across all different disciplines. So again, this is something that we really take to heart at Yale SOM and makes for a really unique learning environment. And now I'm going to pass over to my colleague Matt to talk a little bit more about the opportunities and the curriculum at SOM through the MAM program.
Thanks, Evelyn. So what are the opportunities that we're really interested in talking about? So two of the big ones that we're going to talk about are the extraordinary depth that you have available to you and the breadth of the program. And you'll see in, I believe it's our next slide, sort of that curriculum, and we'll talk a little bit more. But one of the great aspects is you can decide whether you want to dive very deep into a topic that you're interested in that maybe your MBA and your undergraduate studies just didn't cover. If you're interested in sustainability and some of that sort of stuff, your MBA may have been focused more on the business aspect, but through this program, you have a great opportunity to dive deep into sustainability and some of those cool pieces that we can definitely talk about. On the other hand, you have a lot of breadth in the program to shore up some of those things that maybe you're not 100% trusting yet in your toolkit, if you will. So maybe you want to get some of those soft skills. Maybe you want to work on public speaking, shore up a little bit more of your marketing skills and some of that knowledge. This is a great way to kind of dive a little bit into that and shore up all of those tools to make sure that you have everything you need to be well-rounded. With that, what are the other aspects? Two networks and two brands. So you've have your MBA or you've completed your MBA program, and now not only will you have that network of alumni and that school behind you, but you'd also have access to the Yale Alumni Network and the Yale resources that you would have at your full disposal. Now, on top of that, one thing I do want to also mention is as much as you would have the Yale SOM network, I think something that is sometimes lost and Evelyn touched on is you have all across Yale's campus. So it's not just Yale SOM, but you have the opportunity to connect with students, staff, and faculty across the school. And so I think that just adds a little bit more to that network that a lot of our students can really utilize. With that, global careers, as Evelyn mentioned again, our students have come from across the globe, from South America, North America, Europe, Asia, Australia, Africa, everywhere. And I think it's really unique opportunity to get to interact with all of those different individuals and kind of connect and maybe even find ways that you can work together with those students on projects or businesses, all of that sort of stuff. And then, as we've touched on, a community of purpose from the dean all the way down to the last student that comes in. All of our students, faculty, staff, administrators, everyone truly is a part of a community with a lot of purpose. And we really work hard to educate leaders for business and society. And it's not just something that we preach, we believe it. We try to walk the walk and make sure that when students come out of here, they're ready to actively help in business and in society. So as I touched on, what does the MAM curriculum kind of look like? So in yellow, you're going to see your 4 units of required courses, and those are global leadership, topics in business and society, and global leadership, personal and interpersonal effectiveness. Now, just to kind of give you an idea, these two courses, oftentimes students think they're kind of those basic core courses, how much value do they offer? Many of our students, and I try to talk with as many as I can, say that these are two of the more impactful courses. And we really try to set them up in a way that's going to give our students a great opportunity to work on not only their leadership, but also, as mentioned, their personal skills, their effectiveness interpersonally, and all of that. Now, on the other side of things, as you'll see in blue, you have 36 units of elective courses. And this is where I was kind of discussing the opportunities to maybe take courses at YSE or Yale School of Environment or the School of Drama, or maybe you're looking to do something in law, healthcare, Jackson School for Global Affairs, for example, if you're looking at maybe some of that political area. So you have the opportunity to learn from leading professors at Yale's 12 professional schools and the Graduate School of Arts and Sciences. And as you can see, 36 units gives you a lot of opportunity to really design your curriculum to make sure that you've gotten that deep dive, if you will, into that area that you really want to learn more about, or shore up those areas that maybe you felt just needed a little bit more polishing before you really hit the ground running in the business world. Another opportunity that I do want to touch on is the management science concentration. So in a second, we'll kind of see that wheel come up and show you a little bit of what it'll look like. But you would complete a minimum of 16 credit units of eligible courses focusing on applying quantitative methods to challenges in business and management. You have 26 different elective options. We have a couple of them listed there that you would take, and they would go towards this concentration. It is something that you would need to apply for, and there is an application process that you would go through. One of the opportunities and reasons that some students have been interested in applying for this is it could potentially take your 1 year OPT or optional practical training and add an additional 2 year STEM extension, giving you 3 years of work permission upon graduation. Again, you would need to apply for this, and it's something that then, if accepted, would be potentially able to help you get that 2 year extension. And just to give you an idea of what that looks like, so again, in yellow, you're going to see the required courses, both of those global leadership courses. And then in white, you'll see the 16 units of management science concentration courses. And that still allows you 20 units of elective courses to take classes across Yale and really shore up any of those skills. So just something to think about that we do want to mention. Now, just to give you an idea of what some of our students have done in terms of their curriculums. Now, both of these students are MAM students. On the left, you see June, and she took some management courses and then looked at some opportunities in some global courses, potentially at the Jackson School. Took a course in film. We'll see a couple courses in law, language, music, and theater. On the other hand, you see Matt, who took a couple management courses and then decided to focus in a little bit on finance and even took a class in art and sort of the entrepreneurship and the art market. Now, both of these again are MAM students, but designed their curriculums completely differently to sort of shore up or fit what they wanted to learn and felt they needed to learn to take that next step professionally. And one thing I do want to note with this, June on the left here, that wasn't even all of her classes. There were still a couple that we couldn't fit in there. But there's a lot of opportunity to take courses. You don't have to take that many, but you can certainly take as many courses as you feel comfortable with and your schedule allows. So, of course, we want you to learn in the classroom, but there's so many opportunities outside the classroom to learn and interact with students, staff, and others around the campus. Just to give you a little bit of an idea, we've got a number of different sports clubs. We've got rugby, soccer, one of the favorites being the ice hockey club team. Our students come from across the globe, and it's so cool to join these clubs and participate, get to be a part of the community and meet a lot of different people who share similar passions, or maybe it's the first time and they're diving into something new, and you can really be a part of that experience with them. You'll also see some of our case competitions and conferences across the top row that we have throughout the year. And it's a lot of great opportunities for students to, again, get involved with the community, meet others, compete a little bit, and have some fun. On the bottom, you're going to see a few of our more team bonding or community bonding oriented events. So we have our Friendsgiving, which happens around Thanksgiving time in November. It's a great opportunity for students, faculty, and staff to really join together and enjoy kind of a home cooked meal with friends and others, really get to know each other outside the classroom and just be a part of the SOM community a little bit more. In the middle, you'll see some of our team bonding that happens when you first show up to campus. We have a lot of team building and those sorts of activities. We want you to start building those connections and bonds right away so that you have a great opportunity to connect and hopefully help each other grow and learn throughout the year. And then, of course, we have a lot of opportunities across campus, but specifically at SOM to really learn more about different cultures that are here. With, I think it was 70 different countries that we've had students join us from, and that's just the MAM program. There's so many opportunities to meet and learn about different cultures and places. And we have a number of different events throughout the year where you can share food experiences and all sorts of other things. And these are just a few of the things that we do want to mention. There are so many different clubs. I feel like every time I read an application, someone shares a club that they're interested in that I haven't heard of, and I have to go look up. So definitely take a look at those different opportunities across the campus. Let's talk about some of the opportunities to listen to and potentially even meet some great speakers that come to Yale and Yale SOM. So specifically, we've had a few recently. We had Janet Yellen, who is the Secretary of the Treasury and former chairman of the Board of Governors of the Federal Reserve System. She came and spoke with students and some of our faculty and staff. On top of that, Stella McCartney, who is a world-renowned fashion designer, and then I think one of the most amazing ones was the president of the Republic of Ghana actually came and spoke with students and staff and faculty. And I thought it was so cool that one of our students who had actually come from Ghana had the opportunity to meet with and kind of have that moment with the president of her home country. And I think that's something that very few schools, if any other than Yale, can really say is that we attract those types of people. They want to come and interact with our students, with the people here who are potentially going to change the world, change society, business, all of it for the better, hopefully. And I think that's something that only Yale can really bring and attract. One of the other big things that I think is important to talk about is sort of the Yale experience. There's hundreds of years of history everywhere you look, and it's something that our students, I think, really love, and it's something that definitely attracts a number of students for the opportunities to see history right in front of them and then get to walk inside and kind of hear the stories of those who came before them, what they learned, how they grew as a student or faculty here at Yale. And so just a few photos to kind of give you an idea of what life at Yale is like and some of the amazing places around campus. So where do our MAM students end up? So really world-renowned companies, businesses across the globe. We have a great career development office that works with our students and tries to help set our students up for success and help them find roles that they're going to be excited and interested in upon graduation. Some of these places that students have gone on to work at are Google, Amazon, BCG, United Nations, PwC, Bank of China. It's government, society, business. Really, we have students across the globe in so many different places, types of work, lines of work, and it's something that we're really proud of here at Yale. So what does the application look like and kind of what's the process for applying? So it's an online application. You would go onto our website and access it and complete 3 essays. Then once you've done that, you would add in your resume, transcripts for any schools that you've been a part of, whether you transferred from those or anything else. We do like to see all transcripts. GMAT or GRE test score, and we are now accepting the GMAT Focus edition of the GMAT. We do ask for a letter of recommendation from an employer. So we look for a professional one. We prefer it not be from an academic source. A letter of support from your dean or director of your MBA program. Then you would pay a $95 application fee, and usually within 24 hours, you would receive a link to access video questions. And then you would see, most likely, I believe it's me or Evelyn, asking you a few questions, and you would complete those. It takes no more than 10 minutes. You really don't need to be too prepared for those. And then if your application is reviewed and we decide we want to move forward, we would set up an interview by invitation with you. Okay. And up here, you're going to see some of our application deadlines. Round one was specifically for GNAM students, but now rounds 2 and 3 are open to all students. And our deadline actually is coming up in, I believe it's 3 weeks. Yeah, it looks like about 3 weeks. So February 21st would be when our next deadline is. And you can definitely complete an application by that deadline if you'd like. There is also, again, the round 3 deadline, and we do have seats in all 3 rounds. We don't, fill up. If you're a good applicant and you're someone that we think would be great in the MAM program, there's going to be a seat available for you. Now, of course, one of the other big questions or things that we should talk about is affording your MAM. So as you can see there, tuition is about $82,700 based on this year's figure, and living expenses are about $32,116. Now, I do want to talk about a couple things with that. So all admitted candidates are automatically considered for merit scholarships just based off of your application and what you've provided to us. With that, one thing that you can do once admitted, and if you decide to attend, is apply for additional scholarships. And you would submit a little bit of paperwork that would come in, and we would take a look and go from there with those additional scholarships. If after all of those scholarships have been sent out or given out, if you need additional funding, we do work with some international student loan providers, and there are some on-campus student employment opportunities. One thing you could also look into is there are other scholarship opportunities potentially outside of Yale SOM and our program specifically that you can definitely look into as well if you need that extra funding. And we are very committed to working with all of our students. We want to make sure that if you want to do the MAM program and it's something that is going to help your career, we definitely want to work with you to make sure that it's something you can afford to do. So we really want to emphasize that to our students. So we're going to take a few minutes here for some questions. Thank you so much for taking the time to stay on, listen to our presentation, and hear more about the MAM program. The QR codes there that you see on the left, I believe, brings you to our website where you can learn a little bit more about the program, dive a little bit deeper if you'd like. On the right, you're going to see a QR code leading to our events link. And we do actually have tomorrow, right? Yeah, it's the second tomorrow, a student panel webinar. So we have some of our current students that are going to be joining our Dean Camino DePaz, and they're going to be talking a little bit more about their experiences and what it's been like for them here at Yale SOM. And then on February 13th, we have an application tips webinar. So that'll be another great one if you are looking to submit in round two. That would definitely be a good one to hop on and join, try and get those last minute tips and learn a little bit more. And then, of course, if you have any questions at all after the webinar, definitely reach out to us at advanced.management@yale.edu.
Great.
So
Thank you so much, Matt. Hopefully this has been a helpful webinar to introduce the program and share a little bit more specifics. As Matt mentioned, we're happy to stay on and answer any questions that you might have. And it looks like our colleague Elena has just posted the brochure into the chat. So thank you for that, Elena. Please feel free to download that and take a further look at that. And of course, as Matt mentioned, review our website, come to some of our upcoming events, and we'd love to see you there and to share more information too. So it looks like we do have one question that's come in. This is about the format of the classes. So are all the classes online, and what are the options for on-site classes? So the program is actually a residential program, so it is fully in person. There are not any online classes, and there's not a part-time option for the program either. So it's a fully in-person program. It's full-time. You won't be able to work at the same time as completing the program. It's a very intensive program, as you can see, all of the credits and courses that are required to complete the program. So just to kind of set expectations there, you should be kind of planning to take this 9-month chunk to devote to coming here to New Haven and setting them aside for your studies. So hopefully that's helpful there. Let's see what else we have here. So there's another question about any connection with the Yale Investment Office or courses championed by David Swenson in the endowment model at Yale. So that's a really great question. As Matt mentioned, there's lots of opportunity to kind of take classes outside of Yale SOM and to really dig into these different areas of your interest. So I actually don't know the answer specifically about any courses around the Yale Investment Office itself or the endowment fund or the endowment model. But I'd love to be able to find that out and share that information with you as well. So please feel free to write to our inbox, advanced.management@yale.edu with that question specifically, and we'll get back to you about any courses that are specifically designed around that.
I'm seeing a question about what topics are studied or and a little bit about kind of the class sizes and some of the teachers. So our teachers and our professors are really world-renowned faculty. Some of them you might have seen on different news channels over the years. So you have some really great faculty and staff that'll be working with you across Yale, not just here at SOM. The class sizes, it really depends. We have some very popular professors that definitely their classes are going to fill up. I would say, I think the classrooms, and correct me if I'm wrong, some of them can get up to about 200 students. Some of them maybe, 10 or 20 students. I think it can really vary anywhere in between depending on the classroom size, the professor, and the topics. And then when it comes to topics, really it's kind of up to the imagination as well as what courses are being taught. I think that's one of the great things about this program is if you're interested in sustainability, there are courses in business sustainability. There are also courses that are going to be over at YSE in sustainability or the Yale School of the Environment. So there's different things like that. You could look at courses at the School of Drama. I know we've had students that have taken courses over there because they wanted to shore up some of their presentation skills and public speaking. Of course, Jackson School for Global Affairs is a popular one. We have the School of Medicine as well as the law school that are both also popular that you can potentially take classes at. There is some restriction depending on, some courses are specific to students at those schools, but you really have a lot of opportunity to dive into any topics that you're interested in. And surely you're going to find someone else here at Yale that probably has a similar interest or is teaching something along those lines. Anything to add there, Evelyn?
Thanks, Matt. Yeah, I think it's a really good idea. to come prepared with a plan of what you're hoping to get out of your year here at Yale SOM. Because basically, as you mentioned, Matt, the options are kind of limitless. You know, you have the opportunity to take any classes from all across the university and really dial into an area of interest that you might have, or something that you might not have had the opportunity to study before, but have always been really interested in. Um, so I think we usually find that our students have the most success who have sort of thought about this carefully before they arrive and what are they actually looking to get out of this year and kind of work backwards from there and formulate a plan based on that around what classes you're looking to take and what skills you're looking to really focus in on in this year. So that's some advice from us around that. The other thing I can mention, and I think you said it well, Matt, that our classes really range in size. I would say that we tend to focus more on the smaller class sizes. So I would say an average class size is 70 students or less. Many of them are much smaller than that. We do have some classes that are much larger than that. But in general, our classes tend to be very small, and there's a really good faculty to student ratio at the school. So that's definitely one of the strengths of this program as well. And there's definitely a real opportunity for students to interact closely, get to know faculty on a personal level. The faculty at Yale SOM are very open. That's definitely, I think, one of the strengths of the school as well. They hold office hours. They meet with students. They work with TAs in their classes as well. So there's a lot of opportunity for you to kind of work closely and get to know faculty as well, which is a real strength here too.
Definitely. I'm seeing a question regarding GNAM alumni and if they would need GMAT and whatnot. And I think this is a good point to kind of go back and touch briefly on the application because I'm just thinking of something else. So we do require a GMAT or GRE score. If you used it to get into your MBA program, and correct me if I'm wrong, you can use that score even if it is expired when applying for the MAM program, if you used it to apply for your MBA program. And one of the big things too that I do want to touch on is, and are we able to pop back to that slide real quick? Sorry. One of the key things that I think a lot of students sometimes get unsure when looking at the application because you see, oh, they're asking for transcripts or a GMAT or GRE test score. We really look at each one of those pieces listed. And we're also going to find out a little bit more about your extracurricular activities. What do you like to do outside of the classroom? We look at your work experience, all of that. And it's not just that, oh, your GMAT score wasn't, good enough, or, oh, you had that 1C in, I don't know, chemistry in college, and that's it for you. We look at each piece of the application holistically and really try to get a sense of who the student is and why they need the program, as well as, we are looking for top academic students around the world, but we take all of these things into account, and we really do understand that life happens, and that's something that in those essays, there is a fourth optional essay that you can provide us with. And maybe your GMAT, GRE score isn't up to where you hoped it would be. Maybe you have that 1F on a transcript that you're mad about, or when you're applying, we're going to see. But that's a great opportunity to explain maybe something was going on during that time, or, you know, different things happen, different things come up. How have you learned from it? How have you grown from it? If you utilize that optional essay to kind of explain that, it's a great way to kind of shore that up a little bit more and explain maybe what happened, and also show us maybe the growth that you've made from there. But again, we take a look at each aspect of the application sort of individually and then as a whole. That way, we aren't just focused on that test score or, that one component of the transcript. We really want to get, a full picture of who you are and kind of what you've done to this point.
Yeah, I think you said that really well, Matt. The other thing that I can maybe add is, as you mentioned, there's not one thing here in this list that's going to make or break your application. We're really looking for holistic and well-rounded applicants. And there's a lot of ways for you to stand out for us as a candidate. So we're looking for leadership potential. we're looking for students who are going to connect with our mission, which is educating leaders for business and society. So share with us what that mission means to you and how do you connect with it. Um, we're looking for some great career experience or career aspirations. What are your career goals? How are you going to help us live out the mission of the school moving forward in your career and in your life? We like to see international experience and international interest. So again, there's a lot of different things that we're looking at in the application, and I think our takeaway message here is don't get too worried or hung up on any one specific point that you see here because we're really looking for well-rounded, holistic candidates here.
Really. And I'm seeing a question. Could we go forward one slide? Sorry. Regarding the program cost. So we can pop back to that. So it is about $82,700, and that would be without scholarships, without any funding, anything like that. And we definitely have scholarship opportunities. We take a look again, at merit scholarships. You're considered for those automatically with no additional documentation or anything like that. Just submit your best application and we take a look at that and determine the merit scholarships. And then once you've received that, you can then apply for additional scholarships if you're admitted to the program. You can also take a look if those scholarships, and we try to really work with every student so that it's possible. But if you need a little bit more funding, there's definitely other scholarship opportunities, on-campus employment, international student loans. But the total does come out. It is about 82,700 based on this year's figure. And then living expenses we estimated to be about 32,116 for the period of time that you would need to be on campus, which would be from August through, I believe it's the end of May.
Yeah, and I think the bottom line here that we really want to share with everyone and make sure that everyone understands, if you're interested in this program and you think that the MAM is right for you, please apply. We have a lot of scholarship funding that we, um, you know, as Matt said, we look at every individual candidate, an admitted student really carefully, and we are really devoted to creating a tailor custom-made financial aid package for each and every individual student. So we are committed to making sure that the MAM is a possibility for every student that we're going to admit. So please, I know that this price tag looks like a big a big sticker, but please don't be deterred by it because we're here to help you. We can walk you through options that you might have available. Again, we have a lot of scholarship funding that's available to you. And we also have other options for additional funding that you might need if there's any funding gaps that's still left available after scholarships have been awarded. So, like Matt said, there are international student loan providers that we work carefully with, and there are also student employment opportunities on campus once you're here. So, again, we're really committed to working with each and every individual to make sure that this program is possible for you. So if you're interested in this program and you think that this program will be good for you at this point in your career, please apply and we'll work with you individually to make sure that this program is going to be possible for you. Hopefully that helped there. I'm going to put back the QR slide, the QR codes. Um, and again, encourage everybody to sign up for the webinars that we have coming up. The one tomorrow is a really fun one. The student panel webinar is always great to hear from our current students and what they're doing now, and what they're planning to do over the summer and their career goals and their experience in the program and the clubs they're joining. It's just always really nice to hear the student perspective from them themselves. So definitely recommend that one. And of course, the application tips webinar is coming up as well, just in time for our round two deadline, February 21st. So we'd love to have you back for some more events that we have coming up. And again, please reach out to us at any time if you have any questions about the application or the program. We love talking with potential candidates about anything that we can do to help. You can reach us at advanced.management@yale.edu. So please reach out or check out our website to learn more as well. I don't see any more questions for now, but if there are any left out there, please send them our way so that we can answer them. Um, but otherwise, thank you so much for joining our webinar today to learn more about the MAM program. We hope to hear from you soon. We'd love to see you at another one of our events or hear from you in our inbox as well. So please reach out. And thank you so much.